This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Hello and welcome to Elder Speak. This is Monday, June 4th, day 1 of E3 2012. You may notice that this voice is not that of the sultry Randy. He's out for a bit, and Trevor Faulkner, that's me, editor at ElderGeek.com, will be taking his mantle. In the background, we have some Skyrim footage going, and we will hopefully get some screens of some of the games we're going to talk about today. With me, I have Adam Maldonado, friend to Elder Geek.
Yep, hello. I used to be on a podcast.
He used to be on one podcast, and that somehow privileges him to come on here and talk about video games. As I just said, we have just entered E3 2012. We're all excited to be disappointed, or maybe not disappointed. We can talk about that a little bit later in the video. First, I wanted to touch on Nintendo's announcement, which they put out really early, even before their press conference, which was their new Wii U controller and the features, a couple features that were revealed for the Wii U. That include texting on the Wii U controller, making video calls on the Wii U controller. It includes a Wii U Pro controller, which looks a lot like the Xbox 360 controller, as well as ergonomic designs that are about 5 years old.
For the record, Nintendo invented ergonomics. Just so you know.
Like a 360-degree spinning analog stick that clicks in.
I really do like the little 2-second shot they gave of that.
There's somebody
just to test it out.
Gently rubbing the analog nub. All of this was revealed in a slightly awkward press video, which had one of the most offensive portrayals of Americans I've probably ever seen, involving a game called Shooter, in which you shot zombies, which I'm not ever going to be on there.
Which, as any American who's listening to this, that is really all we play.
That's all we play. We don't do anything but shoot zombies. They also showed off the Miiverse and their online component, with Nintendo finally trying to get into the online market.
They finally realized that the internet does exist.
It seems like almost the most potential for disaster I've seen, though.
It really does, especially considering how many times, I don't know if anybody out there visits video game forums and everything. To me, my experience is most people are jerks on there, and we're really going to test the potential and the population of the Wii U to see if they're just not going to make fun of you for what the guy, I couldn't beat this boss, and just someone call you a horrible name and not give you any help at all.
Yeah, the most prevalent is the Mi Waka Waka, Mi Wara Wara, which is the jumble of Miis that wander about the home screen on the Mii and gather around the icons for games you've played. And those are your friends, your family, and people who are just playing the games that you're playing. And all of them can draw or talk at any time. That is also integrated into some of the games. They showed off a new Super Mario Brothers style game where when the player lost, the messages, much like Demon's Souls, the messages of the other Fallen showed up. And I really just see a lot of horrible drawings and terrible things being said, but who do I know?
Well, you know what, that's good, because just like in Demon's Souls, they'll all be just as useless as the messages that you read. When it says, go right, you fall off of a cliff. That's how people are.
It'll be really interesting, I think.
Now it will be that way with Mario. Let's include Nintendo into the fold of scumbags.
We'll see how that pans out. We'll get way more information on Tuesday when Nintendo has their official press conference. Everything else they revealed was a lot of stuff we've heard in the past, like the connectivity between the two devices and the polling screens from the TV to the controller.
It's all about bringing everyone together.
After that today, they had the Xbox press conference, which, woo!
which coincidentally proved Nintendo's stereotype of Americans right as we go through this list of games, which pretty much are almost all shooters and Usher. But I love Usher, so.
I didn't even notice that they were majority of them were shooters. I mean, they had some other ones in there, but
nobody cares about those. Smart Glass, come on.
Some of the games they revealed were Splinter Cell Blacklist, which features what did they call it? It was basically run and gun.
Pretty much. It was actually a distinct turn from the normal shooter because now you can stab.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing Americans like to do second to shooting, it is stabbing.
I'm not a huge fan of the Splinter Cell series, and that was because a lot of the earlier ones that appeared on the original Xbox were like huge trial and error systems where you just would walk in, you die 100 times till you got it perfect. And this one seems a lot more streamlined and way more actiony to the point where I might be willing to go back in and give it another try.
I also have some insight into why you didn't like the other Splinter Cells.
Why is that?
Because you hate America.
I must. Tom Clancy, he just doesn't do it for me.
Blasphemy.
One of the bigger reveals, we all knew was coming, but was Halo 4, which I thought actually looked pretty good.
I think so too.
They've got a new developer on board, and it looks like a fresher take. The graphics are a definite improvement on previous Halos. They have new enemies. They have new guns.
I am curious to see why exactly Master Chief was kind of on that desolate planet all by himself.
I'm assuming it has something to do with the events of the last Halo game, which
I did not play. I don't own an Xbox, and I just got a PC. I hate America. Man.
I think I can spoil the Halo, but I'm not gonna. I'll just leave it out there in case somebody has it and are planning on playing them all or something like that. But I actually thought it looked a lot like Metroid Prime.
That first-person
view
in
the mask
really does remind you of
with
Metroid
visor changes and bright glowing enemies.
And it looks like it's trying to go more of like a survival horror route, since you don't know now what you're fighting, since you're not fighting the same guys as like the last
I think survival horror is a stretch, but
it is a stretch. But
survival maybe.
Look at what survival horror has turned into.
Yeah, okay. If we're going for money, that is a very good point. In that case, it's horrifying.
If Master Chief starts punching a rock, I will buy 2 copies of the game.
I don't know. I think it looks really good. I'm actually excited about it, which I haven't been excited for a Halo game since I got halfway through Halo 2. I have beaten them all, but regardless.
And you know it's going to have co-op.
Yes,
so
and
it's great.
The multiplayer will probably be fantastic.
Yep.
But it does look a lot like Metroid Prime to me. That's all I could think of the entire time. And that's not bad. Cool. I mean, I love Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Maybe Nintendo will announce a new Metroid. No, they won't. No, they won't.
It's going to be Metroid Other M squared.
After that, they revealed Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which has them fighting a nation divided by machines. The gameplay trailers didn't wow me that much.
It's really because it looks like Black Ops with robots.
I mean, I guess that's true. They spent like 5 minutes, and maybe it was their choice of area, but I mean, they did the "My convoy gets exploded," which I think I've seen in every game for the last 5 years.
That was also an Iron Man.
It was also an Iron Man, which would make a better game. Oh wait, it already tried and it was terrible.
We don't talk about that.
I love that a lot of first-person shooters really are into looking at your hands.
Yeah.
They're really bringing hands into the forefront.
And I gotta say, I will bash on Black Ops only because I'm so biased towards Battlefield, which is why I like the Medal of Honor, because it just simply uses the same engine where everything blows up and everything is sort of chaotic in that type of environment.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Hold on.
I'm jumping the gun.
We're talking about Call of Duty here. We've kind of already talked about Call of Duty. Not much else to say.
We really did go over everything in Call of Duty.
You've seen Call of Duty before.
I mean, if we want to link something to Call of Duty, we can look at Battlefield that now is going to do a premium service.
Yeah, premium service.
Which is their answer to the Call of Duty Elite.
Which I'm so tired. I mean, I understand that you get a whole bunch of downloadable maps and you get a bunch of items and guns and all this other stuff, but I am still Not a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what they're going to be adding, like, as far as, like, guns and everything like that, but I played the game and it's fun. I wouldn't subscribe to a shooter. You know, there's not many games that I would subscribe to, though.
It's kind of, I don't know, it's the EA, everything has to have DLC in some form or fashion.
Everyone wants to make more money, and, you know, I'm assuming that the Call of Duty or the Battlefield fans are just as ravenous as the Call of Duty fans and are ready to throw their money at whatever they give them.
Yeah, the last two things Xbox announced during their press conference was Usher.
Usher, it's the best part of their press conference.
Needed a 5-minute long concert sequence.
I went out and bought not only an iPhone, but 3 Xbox to control all of the Xboxes with my iPhone.
It absolutely, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like this is way off topic of a video game conversation, but Usher, guys, like, I know he's got, like, a hit song and stuff, but I feel like it's the wrong audience for Usher.
He really belonged in the Nintendo conference.
And my favorite thing was right after that, the segue of Xbox is ushering in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they got him entirely just to say that pun.
They really did.
I took a team of crack writers to get that one out.
That was several $1 million well spent, and you know what? If I had several $1 million, I would have done it all over again.
Okay. And then they also announced Internet Explorer for Xbox.
I can't wait. I really can't.
So now even your Xbox can have viruses.
I really only hope that Apple releases a console and I get Safari on it. Because
I really need an Opera browser.
Yeah, what is better than one crappy browser? Two.
two crappy browsers on one system. And then the last conference that popped up this afternoon, as of this recording, was EA's press conference, which kind of announced more DLC than it did games, but they still had some good showings. The ones we're going to be covering is my nominee for best title of a video game, Medal of Honor Warfighter.
I think that is an incredible title, and really the only thing that could top it is Medal of Honor Fighter War.
They're going to have a sequel, Medal of Honor Plane Flyer.
But I may be getting ahead of myself because Fighter War may be the DLC.
It's the DLC section they're going to release day of. Day one DLC. You heard it here first. Fighter War for Warfighter.
Yep, and you get to play a bunch of other nations that aren't the United States. So I really...
Could go good or bad.
Yeah, I really just skimmed through that. But the pre-order bonus is a U.S. Navy SEAL sniper. I wonder if that's the pre-order bonus in every other country as well. Like, if I'm selling it in Europe and be like, your guy really sucks, here's a real warrior. Like, and you got to give me money first for
sorry,
for $5 down.
Europe, you need to use our guns. Yep. I think that's a fair assessment.
I really do.
It looked good though. Action-packed.
No, it did.
It's kind of the more of what you expect situation.
It's Battlefield with more countries.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So it's risk
and less jeeps, which I'm a little bit on the fence about, but who knows? Maybe I want to play someone from Poland.
You know,
I don't know.
You could be surrender immediately.
I do love sausages from that region.
All right. EA also, one of the top games they announced was Dead Space 3.
Which they have gone out and said it's going to be better and scarier than Resident Evil and I believe one other game. But at that point I was like, there's a lot of things that could be scarier than Resident Evil now.
Like everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I watching the video was like, he's fighting a drill, but like, and they had the monsters come down. But the whole thing like it really feels like they're going into the Resident Evil way of like, it's just way more action. You fought a giant sand caterpillar and like, I mean, it looks good, but...
Oh, yeah, it looks good, but when you have series like Silent Hill that have sort of just gone downhill over the years, I guess, all those companies that do those games now are probably just like, people just want to punch and shoot things, and every once in a while go,
I feel that's accurate.
That was scary, and I'm going to shoot them in the face right now.
Okay.
American audience.
And multiplayer.
I can't really argue with any game that has co-op, because no matter how bad a game is, if I can sit on a couch and play it with someone, it's instantly better to me.
I don't know. Survival, I don't know. I don't think it belongs in survival horror, but
It belongs in everything,
ah.
even solitaire.
The last announcement for that conference, and actually the one that I was most excited about, was SimCity, just titled SimCity.
There really are like share. They don't need to add anything else to their name. They are an established franchise. I've never played any of the SimCities, and I have to say, when that dinosaur rampaged through that town, I was like, I may have to buy that game. Just to make a city so overcrowded that the dinosaur would do maximum carnage.
So Japan.
Yes.
I thought it was beautiful. I was watching it.
It
I was
really
like,
looked like a good game.
Better
than
it's
Halo
been
4.
The last time I played a SimCity game was on like my Macintosh, like my 2-color green screen Macintosh in like 1992 or something. Like, and yeah, I pretty much just built the city and then burned it down. But this looks like a beautiful city to burn down.
Yeah, I mean, what else would an omnipotent god do but create something and watch it be destroyed in a matter of minutes?
I feel like that's a fair bet, and it's got online. It looked like they had some online challenges that you can complete and them such things. Later on tonight, there's going to be a Sony press conference. We'll cover that tomorrow.
Tomorrow is disappointment.
Disappoint. Well, I mean, it's E3. All it is
true.
disappointment.
It really is.
If you've been disappointed by this E3 so far, please leave us a comment below. If you disagree with something said here today, still leave us a comment below.
And you obviously don't own a PC.
You can own a PC and a console. No, you can't.
That's true.
So if you want news, reviews, and features, head over to elder-geek.com. And you can comment on that article too. And we hope you guys have a really good rest of E3. We'll talk to you tomorrow about some more news. Thank you for listening to Elder Speak, and I'll see you then.
Bye-bye.